So these slides are just pictures that I wanted you to have some good visuals on the Great Pyramids and sort of what purpose they served, and the fact that you can still go see them today is a testament to how well they were engineered. So they are in Egypt, obviously. They're in a place called Giza. Giza is really a plateau. It's sort of a raised part of the desert, and it was selected so that it was close enough to the river to get materials, but far enough away that it wouldn't flood. So you can see that the modern day city is over here, and it's just a normal part of everyday life. If you're an Egyptian and you're walking to work or you're outside playing with your friends, you can probably see these in the horizon depending on where you live. So you'll see that there are different images here. So the bottom is what it looks like now, and the top is what we are pretty sure it looked like back in BC times when it was built. And the difference is that this white limestone and this gold cap are present. So this is the base, like this is what was underneath and has always been underneath. And then over time, these limestone tiles have fallen off and broken and been taken, and throughout time people have used it, when things fall apart, people would go and collect the fallen tiles and use them in their homes or whatever for building materials. So it doesn't look like white and shiny anymore, but you can imagine back when it was first built how shiny and beautiful this would have been, and it would have sparkled and the sunlight would have hit it and really made it really an amazing sight to see, which it still is even without the white, but I imagine the white was pretty impressive. You'll notice that there are, and this is a kind of a different image, but there are three, there's sort of a small, medium, and large big pyramids like this one. And then there are these minis. And then there's some extra structures out to the side here. So we know that the Queen's pyramids were these smaller ones. We know that Khufu is in the big pyramid, and then the other pyramids are for other family members. And then you can have additional places for officials and other family members to be buried. We know that they had an extensive worker village at the time where the workers would live and eat and take their shifts at doing the hard work of dragging the stones up to be making the pyramids. So this is sort of this is a drawing, not a photograph, but you can sort of see the small, medium, and large and the various places where you'd have sort of workstations and things like that. So the layout of what's inside of the pyramids. So it's a pretty elaborate structure that has to stand up and not crash, obviously, but then also have chambers within. So if you look at this, if you're an engineer person, if you're a TSA person, you can appreciate all these numbers off to the side and all these angles. But this took a lot of planning and a lot of engineering because, of course, you want it to survive and you want it to be an eternal resting place for the king and not to fall apart. So there's a little underground section. There's a lot of passages in it. You have a queen here, and there's additional queens outside, but this was the main queen, the first wife of the king. And then this is where the king is actually buried, so kind of right in the middle. And it goes all the way up when the white was there and the gold capstone, about 481 feet. So the workers, we know that they mined the stone from further down the river. So they had to put the big stone blocks on the boats, bring the boats over to the shore. You can kind of see how they would teamwork, get the stones into position to pull them on a sled over to the pyramid, which you can see down here. And then, of course, they had to have master craftsmen on site because you have your laborers that are just sort of the muscle, but then you also have to have your very highly skilled stone workers to be able to cut them because there is no concrete or cement used at all to build the pyramid. It's all about cutting the stones so that they fit together perfectly without any kind of mortar or glue or anything like that. So this is the theory of how they did it, was sort of the spiral building effect where they have these ramps. There is some issue with this theory because the turning of these big stones would be very, very difficult. So this is one of the very strong theories of how they think it was built, but of course we don't have anybody to interview, so we have no 100% convincing evidence of what methods they used. Visiting, it's obviously a very popular tourist site. You can take like a bus out there. People that have vehicles can drive out. And then if you want to get out to the further away structures, you can take animals. They have camels, camels with carts that get you really, really close. This picture is a great one to show you how there is no smooth sides anymore. I can give you a better shot here. It's all composed of these large chunks of rocks, and then they had that limestone to make it smooth. So now when you go to visit, of course, you're not allowed to get into this area because it's unsafe, but it is steps. It looks like little steps with these big stones, and these were the stones that they would have had to individually haul up in order to create the pyramids. So the rest of your activity is in this folder, but I wanted to show you some images so that you could know what it looked like. If you're ever able to get there, that's one of my lifelong dreams to visit, but if not, at least now you have some good images in your head. Have a great day.